don't know if you caught it the other day on his radio, but one of our winners of the Backyard Movie Kits and the Dollywood tickets is Brandy. Brian Sumner, in the middle of the day, gave it away to her. Check out how excited she was. Here's Brian.
Hey, would you like to go to Dollywood?
I would love to.
You're the winner!
I cannot believe it.
Oh, my gosh. This is so exciting.
I have 4 children, and so it'll be, and then my husband. So all of us, and they have no field trips this year at school, and this will just be amazing for all of us.
That's so good. She's super excited.
I know. And the fact that she and her husband were talking about buying tickets that morning.
Isn't that crazy? And thinking we probably just can't afford it, and then boom, they win.
Wow, the timing of it all.
It could happen for you, too. It's Get Out this summer. It's Dollywood tickets that you could win. All you have to do is text the word outside to 800-447-7234, hisradio.com, and tap on the My His Radio app.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Liz seems excited this morning. It's Rob and Liz, by the way, his morning crew on his radio, to tell you about some dude named Bob. So, okay, what about Bob?
No, it's a crop bob, which is a hairstyle. So it's not a guy named Bob.
Why would Bob have a crop hairstyle?
Well, Bob doesn't, but maybe Bobby with an I might, because it's a trend that's coming back for women. Now, this is something from the 90s. Everything's secular. I mean, every fashion trend is going to come back at some point.
From the 90s?
From the 90s, okay. Probably late 80s into most
What
of the
actress
90s.
Got this one
Cameron
started?
Diaz was, I don't know if she got it started, but she definitely had that look for a long time.
It's called a bob?
It is called a bob, but it's a crop bob, and you can wear it kind of natural. You can wear it straight, and I think it's more for women that might have like not thin hair, but fine hair. I think it at least to me.
So what makes it a bob?
So you cut it sort of under the ears, okay? The length is about under the ears.
Okay.
And it's generally parted either straight down the middle or just a little bit to the side.
Does it like go over your eye or something like that on one side?
It can. There's a lot of different versions of it. I had it, but it looked like, because I have super thick, super coarse hair, it looked like I had a mushroom on my head.
What?
My head looked like a mushroom. It was a bad look, and
so
I never...
you have the crop mush.
It's sort of.
Instead of the crop bob.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I don't think I would be okay with getting in a car that did this.
Although Liz would be able to do that because she has a Tesla.
No, I don't.
What do you have?
Audi?
You have an Audi?
Yeah, I don't have
That's
a Tesla.
Close.
No. No, it's not.
Teslas are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
They are now very close now. I mean, Tesla now has a package for Tesla owners that's available through a subscription of, I think it's $200 a month. Mm-hmm. That sounds cheap for a Tesla for me. I don't know why.
Well, that's on top of the car payment.
Yeah, on top of the car payment. And then, but the package is this, that your car is self-driving. And so they give you a self-driving package now for the car that people have, you know, the Tesla owners, and it will allow your car to be self-driving. Now, here's what they say. They say, please be alert at all times. Don't take a nap.
Which I've heard people do.
Don't work or anything like that. Have your hands very close to the steering wheel, but it will self-drive for you. So you can take a small little break, but their break is like, be alert. Be ready just to put your hands right on the wheel right away.
Then what's the point? $200 a month. Now, the thing is, you could do it for a month, and then you could cancel. So it's not like a 2-year contract that you have to get into or anything like that.
That's nice.
It is. It is better. So maybe, you do it when you first get your Tesla just to see. But $200 a month, that seems pretty steep to me on top of what you're going to pay.
Someone owns a Tesla. They can afford that.
I guess.
Wouldn't you think?
I guess so. You would think. But
unless, the most expensive thing someone would own is a Tesla. And then, they live in a tiny house.
Right, exactly. But I'm not letting a car drive for me. That is not happening. And then I just don't get it. If you have to be alert at all times, then what's the point?
I wonder if Liz would have a flying car. Would you have a flying car?
If I'm in control of it, yes.
Okay.
As long as I am in control, I think I have an issue.
I hope you learn how to fly.
Well, would you have to have a pilot's license, I guess, for a flying car?
I think you would have some type of license for a flying car.
I would do it in a heartbeat because a flying car, that would be awesome. but a self-driving, no thank you.
She's gone.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Well, Bart is a dad, and his kids call him the Rad Dad because he would also buy these things too. See, his wife Susan, Kendall, and his daughter, or his two sons, I should say. Susan's the mom, and he's got two kids. So anyway, they were talking about him just the other day because he passed away on a skiing accident.
Oh.
But they were like, man, he was just such the right dad. He always would get into the things that we would get into.
That's cool.
And so one of the things they got into in the kids is the 90s was Pokemon cards.
Okay.
He bought a ton of Pokemon cards.
Did you say Pokemon?
I did.
Pokemon.
My son always tells me.
I got you, Eli.
Eli, my 13-year-old, goes, Dad, it's Pokemon. It's Pokemon. So I'll always say Pokemon.
Yeah, of course. That's endearing. I like it.
Yeah, so you buy Pokemon cards and box collections and never open them. So they're sealed and they're in great condition.
Never opened them.
So they started going through everything that their dad had bought while he was alive in the 90s. And they figured out this is worth a lot of money. So they're auctioning off these cards, and the auction house said, you might get $3 million out of this.
Oh, my goodness. Dad was taking care of them, and maybe he didn't even know it, and they
I
sure
know,
didn't.
right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to get in the attic and find the boys' cards and
You going to see if they're there?
Yeah.
Make sure they're still wrapped.
Oh, no.
Make sure they're still, in the boxes and
No.
stuff like that. And you might have, a good thing.
No, I think theirs probably have bits of Airhead still on them or, Jolly Rancher pieces or
Sticky
something.
food.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I have this feeling that he gets in the car because he's a really new driver. This one teenager, the students. Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. And he's excited. He goes, hey, guys, come on in the car. We're going to go somewhere.
Have fun.
So he gets in the car. He hits it into drive. And all of a sudden, when he hits the gas pedal, probably a little bit too harder than what he should, he goes,
He's learning.
He goes backwards, through a fence, and into a pool.
Oh, no.
The whole car splashed.
no.
He didn't have it in drive. He had it in reverse. Whoops. The car, they got out of the car.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Right.
They're okay. But the car, boop, 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 right to the bottom of the pool.
Yeah, and luckily I don't think it was like an Olympic pool or anything, so it didn't go,
no.
real deep, but maybe 8 to 10 feet. But so the car wasn't fully submerged, but just a little bit of the top was left out. And so,
Oh, yeah.
of course,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Cars,
they had to
no.
call scuba divers. They had to call like the fire department.
Fireman department came out. Towing company came out. They got they had to really do a lot of work to get it out of the pool, but they did get it out of the pool. Somebody said, "Why the fire department?" And they said, "Well, you don't know if there's a gas leak or
Sure.
anything like that. Something bad could happen, so
Yeah.
we have to be on the scene for this."
Right. I wonder if they had to drain the pool after just in case some chemicals got in there. I don't know.
Well, I'm
but-
feeling for the people that own the pool.
And the kid, because the kid will never live this down
We
in
got a
his
ticket
family.
for reckless driving.
Yeah, well,
He had a
sure.
citation for it.
Even if it was an accident, still, I mean, you have to kind of live up to the responsibility. But I can see these pictures in this video being shown at his wedding reception.
Oh man,
Those are going to come out at every
They're
family
pulling
reunion.
that out.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Barbara texted and said, this happened about 5 miles from my house recently. And this was at a Target in North Carolina where somebody accidentally ran over one of the big red balls that are in front of Target. Ran over the top. The
Those
car's,
things are huge.
I don't even know how you get over the top of the thing.
She must have had the pedal to the metal.
She must
And then
have.
maybe freaked and went, "What's going on?"
Right,
Because
right.
you'll have that moment where you
Oh, yeah.
freeze at
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
especially if you're a new driver.
Yeah, and ended up, the car is just hanging over the top of that thing. I'm just glad nobody got hurt.
My first car that I was actually drove, but it was my best friend's dad, and I must have been 13 years old.
Yeah.
It was a Mustang.
Oh.
And so he goes, just lightly push on the gas.
Oh, no.
Well, my light was not his light, and
Yeah.
I squealed the wheels. I burned out the wheels. It sounded so awesome, but it freaked me out.
Oh, I'm sure it did. You hit the brakes like everybody got whiplash.
No, we kept going.
Oh no.
It's like a drag strip. I had no idea. Kelly's here at 800-447-7234. What's your story, Kelly?
When I was growing up, my brother is 2 years older than me. We had a carport, and he had just got his permit, And my mom decided to let him back it out of the carport to a little other area of the driveway where we could wash the car. Front of the carport was a little storage area. And he and several of our friends were outside, and he thought he was big stuff. Gets in the car, puts his arm over the passenger seat like most guys do when they're backing up, and he had it in drive and went straight into the carport and straight into the storage area, which was a brick wall.
Oh, no.
And that's something we still to this day give him a hard time about.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So it's time that some students are out of high school and they're getting ready to move into the dorms. I mean, that's weeks away right now for a lot of people and a lot of families. And so we went through that with two of our kids. I still have a 13-year-old in the house, so I'm still young.
Yeah.
Keeps me young. So let me tell you, that is a heart-wrenching experience.
When you send one off. To
Oh,
college.
my word. Because it's almost like a mourning thing, because all of a sudden your child's not your child anymore.
Oh,
They've
sure.
entered into adulthood, and it's no longer the same.
Like sending the baby bird off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
on your own.
Boy, that ripped my heart out.
Yeah.
When especially Spencer, because my daughter got married and moved out of the house.
Right.
And I was like, oh, no.
I know.
And then Spencer went to college, and I'm like, no.
I know.
You know?
Moving
It's
Taylor
crazy.
into her dorm, same thing.
It's oh man, it's tough. So here's this somebody posted about a dad. They were looking out the window, and here was a dad and the son tossing the ball at college as they moved him into the dorm. And I'm thinking, that's one last time that he could do that, and he took advantage of it. This dad,
Yeah.
and this son.
As dad to son before he sends him off into kind of adulthood.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So they're playing catch before he left. You can even see dad looking at his watch. It's like, I don't want to leave right now. You know?
Yeah, like I'm
That
tearing
is just
up
like,
about
oh
it.
man, it's just woof. Let me tell you. So it's like he's holding on to time for a little bit.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
I think a lot of people would love to capture a moment in time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well-
I remember as a kid, like, you'd wake up on Saturday morning, something I'd like to experience again or hold on to is just sitting in front of the TV Saturday morning. Nobody else is up, and I'm watching cartoons, eating Captain Crunch.
So what's your story? What moment in time that you wish you just had a little bit more of? 800-447-7234.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Ron's here at 800-447-7234. What's your story, Ron?
Hey, listen, when I was in the 9th grade, I was pretty good in baseball and had a pro scout actually come to the house and talk to me, and my daddy was impressed, and I had always had this old Chevrolet Impala bomb. He went and bought me a brand new Mazda Spider with the V8 engine, and it had the Spider on the thing, and I drove it the first night and totaled it.
Oh,
no.
Dude.
What did Daddy say?
The first night. Daddy said, I'm glad you're alive because I went down an embankment, it slipped and fell in like not a river, but a ditch with a lot of water in it. So, yeah, it had the price tag on it and the sticker and everything else, and, it was totaled. I mean, it was wrecked.
What a great dad, not to lay in on you, but just to make sure you were going to be okay.
Oh, yeah, because if I'd have done something little like, eat something I wasn't supposed to, he would get mad. But when I total a brand new car, and he just says, I'm glad you're okay, son.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Here, all of a sudden, here is this fish that's up on shore, washed up on shore. So, they didn't catch it or anything. It's about, 3 feet, 3.5 foot long fish.
Okay.
Weighs 100 pounds.
Wow.
I know, it sounds like a small fish, but it weighs a lot.
Yeah, it does.
And it's rare. It's rare for this, especially in Oregon, because they said it's a moonfish, and it came up on Sunset Beach.
I don't even know what a moonfish
Seaside
is.
Well, it likes the moon.
Is that what it is, or does it look
Yeah,
like the moon?
and it's flat. It's kind of round. It's colorful like the moon. Well, not like the moon is colorful, but it's a flat body and silver gray in color.
Oh.
Especially when it's in the water. It's a little bit more colorful when it's out of the water.
Aren't those the type of fish that you would usually find at like a pet store? And you would buy in like a tropical fish?
Kind of
or
looks
something?
like a tropical
Yeah,
fish.
I mean, it looks like one of those that you would buy and take home in a tropical tank.
And evidently, they get really big out in the ocean.
I had no idea they grew to that. That would be
Honking huge, yeah.
in Oregon.
Right on the beach in Oregon.
Where are you going vacation this weekend. I'm headed to Oregon.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Yeah, Canada is opening back up. They've been shut down. The country shut down to pretty much everybody since March of last year. And they have decided beginning August 9th for people that are fully vaccinated, United States residents anyway, can now go to Canada.
It's so close.
Cool.
You just over the border and you're there.
I know, but they were serious in lockdown for all that time. But August 9th is when you can do it. Got to provide proof of your vaccination. And they did say that kids under 12 don't have to be vaccinated, but they can travel with a parent and they don't have to quarantine because I guess that was part of it. So
I have a friend in Australia. His name is Graham.
Yeah.
And Graham said, we got the Delta variant here. Right. And so they're completely locked down again. Yeah.
So hopefully
this is the second time for them.
Yeah, but hopefully that's not the way the world is going to go. Hopefully more things are going to be opening back up. Places in Europe are beginning, slowly but surely getting there. So
yeah, my wife and I are taking a trip to Europe next year.
Yeah, I know.
Saving and saving and saving so that we
Right?
can have a good time.
Right.
And so we're seeing that things are slowly opening back up.
Yeah, you got about 11 months before you all get to go.
I
and
told Amy, I said, a year from now, things could be totally different.
totally, absolutely different, and that is certainly our hope.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So now there's new Reeboks
I know, and they're going to be kind of expensive.
because they're based off of Jurassic Park. So now that they're based off the movie Legend of
Yeah.
Jurassic Park and all those things that came out, the sequels that came out
Oh
after
yeah,
that.
there were several.
They have 8 variety of these sneakers. They range anywhere from $100 to $200.
That's a lot, but you know what? My kids would say that's about normal for tennis shoes.
I don't
Not
know.
the ones I buy.
I will spend that on running shoes.
Sure, if it's, uber focused on whatever you're training.
About $125 is my cap.
Exactly. Me too.
Yeah.
That's about where I would live.
And I do the last year model. I don't do the most expensive
Don't
this year
need
model
the
when I'm
latest.
looking. But they also have for these Jurassic Park Reeboks, they have sweatshirts and utility vests like what you saw in the movie.
Well, if you're going to hunt dinosaurs, you got to have a utility vest.
T-shirts, and then you have the shoes for toddlers and kids,
Right.
Too. So they really are getting serious of this whole Jurassic Park brand on Reebok.
Well, I love the fact, and it's not Jurassic World, so it's not the Chris Pratt, it's the original Sam
Jurassic
Neill.
Park.
Yeah, Laura Dern, that kind of thing. And so they have tennis shoes that represent each of those characters. So the one that I would be interested in buying is the Mr. DNA. Because I loved that little character.
The little cartoon
Where he
thing
says-
at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, dinosaurs. I love that guy. So I would buy those shoes, maybe.
Yeah, she
Not
would.
for $200.
Definitely. How does it go again?
Dinosaurs. I'll say boy.